Hello everyone, welcome back to Eyezzzick Games. I'm Eyezzzick here with another ARC video, and today we'll be looking at an extremely useful dino, the Gacha. This is a dino that I have on every playthrough that I do, on every server that I join. It's just a dino that I constantly have in my bases. It doesn't have any PvP purposes, no carrying purposes. What it does is produce you materials and resources passively. So you'll see here, it's got these weird like crystal-like things on its back. Those are what you're going to be harvesting as you feed the gachas. So let me just open up its menu here. You'll see here it has a production tab, and these are the things that this particular gacha can produce. So you have obsidian, blue crystallized sap, that's an aberration thing, silica pearls, sand, fragmented green gems, fiber. And that's just this gacha alone. We'll show another gacha to see what it can produce and, compare the differences, right? Now, for the gacha to work, it constantly needs to be eating. So when you feed these things, my preference is either snow owl pellets or plant species Y traps, which you can produce in greenhouses. So go ahead and go watch that video if you want to learn how to plant crops in ARC. But essentially, you'll produce a lot of the plant species Y traps, or if you have a bunch of snow owls that are, pooping essentially and having the snow owl pellets, constantly be feeding the gachas this. Basically, keep their inventory full at all times. I mean, even if it's just stone, they'll eat stone. They pretty much eat anything in the game. Just fill its inventory up, and passively it will consume whatever's in its inventory and drop the gacha crystals. So I have a couple gacha crystals that I've collected from this one in particular, and we'll see what it's dropped. Actually, I don't think they came from this one in particular. They came from a bunch of the gachas that I have in my base. But you'll see here if I just open these up. So I got 30 organic polymer from that one, 29 metal from that one. Looks like more metal. This one produced a ramshackle metal hatchet with 119% damage, which is, good, especially if you're a beginning player. And then it looks like even more metal. So when you go to level up these creatures, you're going to want to be leveling up their crafting skill down here. And that way, when they do end up producing either blueprints for you or, actual items like this hatchet here, instead of it being 120% damage increase, it would be, 122% or 125%. Like it increases the quality of the items that it's crafting. The only caveat with the gachas is if you're playing vanilla, then for the gachas to produce at maximum efficiency, you can have a female and a male next to each other for that mate boosted productivity enhancement. But you see here I have enabled ally looking with this gacha, and when I move back and forth, it will look at me. If there is more than one other gacha that is not a male, so you can have one male and one female next to each other in a 12 foundation radius, meaning that if you have another female or two males or two females or three or however many it is, they will produce at a slower rate, and when the ally looking is on, they'll actually look away from you. So let me throw out another gacha here, and you'll see it immediately looked away from me because it's not happy. So this is a very telltale sign of when they're happy and will produce at maximum efficiency versus when they are unhappy and will produce a lot slower. So you'll need to space them out in your base. 12 foundation radius seems to be safe. I usually do 13, 14 just to be extra safe, just in case they're like overlapping into the radius of each other. But let's take a quick look at what this one produces just to compare the differences. So this one produces fiber, raw salt, corrupted wood, silk, silica pearls, red crystallized sap. So you can have these things produce stone, wood, thatch, fiber, all your basic resources. And you can even get gachas that produce element dust passively. So then you can just be getting element on a regular basis from your gachas. So I'm going to actually hop down to where I keep the gachas in my base just to show you what you can do with these, and I'll explain something where if you're not on vanilla, you can actually get a lot more work out of your gacha. So I'm going to hop down here, and there's a mod that I use on this server particularly called S+ or SS. Superstructures, a lot of people who play Arc on a regular basis are going to know what that is, and a lot of servers that aren't official usually have it installed because it's a huge quality of life, mod. So basically, in this mod, you'll get something called a Gacha Gravitor, in which you can place your gachas, and it will automatically feed the gacha. It basically acts like a trough here, and it will eat from the trough as long as there's food in it. The bonus of a Gacha Gravitor is it nixes that 12 foundation radius bit. So you'll see here I have them quite close to each other. There's a gacha in each one of these, and when the Gacha Gravitor is powered on, it basically nixes that effect of where if there's a male and a male within 12 foundations of each other, they won't produce as fast. So this is just a modded way to get around that. But if you're on an unofficial server, most likely they're going to have S Plus or SS mod installed, and then you can use that. So I'll go and make a separate video on how you can actually automate the gacha process so that you don't constantly have to be filling these troughs one by one and filling them up and then collecting the gacha crystals and so on and so forth. So as long as you have the SS mod, you will be able to pretty much automate this process and get a lot of resources from your gachas. But even on vanilla, it is an extremely useful dino to have. You get resources passively, you get items that aren't terrible quality passively. It's just a very good dino to have, and I recommend everybody to have them. And if you're missing gachas that you want a specific resource to be produced from, you can go out and tame more, or you can breed them like no tomorrow, and eventually they'll get mutations where they can just produce a different resource. So yeah, that's the gacha essentially in a nutshell. It's an extremely useful dino. Go out and get yourself a couple. They're on the extinction map, and start producing resources passively. I hope this helped you. If it did, go ahead and leave a like. If you want other tips and tricks or mechanics explained, just leave a comment on what you would like explained, and I will get around to covering it. And if you want to see a video on me showing you how to automate the gacha process, if you have those mods that I talked about installed, go ahead and leave a comment. And if enough of you guys comment or like the video, I will go ahead and, throw one of those together. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.